It is late at night, technically early in the morning, but we'll still call it carryover from late at night. And we are off the grid and cold. It's cold here up in New England today. Give you a little live look in from this morning. I want to give you a live look in from this morning, and then I'm going to give you a look in from a couple hours ago when it was snowing out. But this is it. I mean, you can kind of see it looks cold. We've got some puddles that start to ice over. That's when you know the temperature's dipping down. But we were making some sun today. Long story short, Huckleberry was happy because he could be outside for the day. And we made some decent sun. We made some decent power considering the season. And so what does that mean? How much power did we make? And what did that mean for tonight? So really, we're in that time of the year where so this was, that's right now. This is a live look in. So we're looking at 14 degrees right now. And the feels like temperature right now up here in New England where I am is -3 degrees. And it feels like that. It feels cold. It's windy. I'll show you what it looked like when it was snowing out earlier. This is kind of what a little peek in from earlier today. Oh, thanks. I like my dog too. He's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, Huckleberry. That's my dog's name. He's super cool. He's super cool with living off grid. And he's really amenable to all different weather conditions, which is really helpful. Although he doesn't like getting sand in his feet. That's the one thing with Huckleberry, if you get to know him, not a big fan of getting sand in his feet. So, but living off the grid on the farm is perfect for him. Let's see, go back. I have the other one of him. That's my favorite because it's cold. It is really cold. He doesn't tend to mind the cold when he's outside, though. You know, he does his thing. But when he's inside, he tends to look like something like this. There's Huckleberry. What kind of dog? He's a rescue. So he's definitely he's a kind of a pit bull Staffordshire Terrier, I think is like the brand name at the rescue that they told us he was. But I think that's just a fancy way of saying like he's like an English version of a pit bull or something like that. It's a Staffy Pit Rescue. He's from Texas. So you'd think he wouldn't love the cold. I mean, we've had him since he was like 3 weeks old. So, but you could see our house, it's 76 degrees. So outside, I kept that going for a reason. I know I did that for a reason. It wasn't just to show off Huckleberry. It's to show off the fact that the feels like temperature outside is -3, but in our house, and this is actually a little warm. I mean, at this point, we can turn the fan down. Oh, he loves the heat. Oh, you're in Texas. That's awesome. I don't know what part of Texas he was from, and I've never been to Texas, but he is a super awesome dog and a super happy dog. And so I always feel like Texas has a special place in my heart because of that. I hope you're sunny. It's not snowing. I don't think it looks like this where you are in Texas. That's for sure. And this isn't a heavy snow. We wasn't anticipating the snow tonight, to be honest, and it wasn't really on the radar. There was a little precipitation. I think when I looked at the, let me see what the weather forecast was. Yeah, Thursday. See, there's like one snowflake on Thursday, and so at least it, at least it gave us a little bit of that heads up. But it didn't affect the power that we made today. I guess we might as well roll through this real quick. Let's see, what powder did we even make today? We made a little bit. It's 37 degrees in Texas. No way. No, I didn't know it gets to 37 degrees in Texas. Are you in like a special part of Texas where it gets really cold? And would it ever snow? Do you ever have to shovel snow? I have a lot of questions. Huckleberry didn't tell me it gets that cold in Texas. He's been playing it up this whole time, like, oh, poor me, I needed another snack because it's so cold out. I know, I'm onto him now. Huckleberry, I'm onto you now, buddy. I have inside information now from Texas. So you could put on this face all you want, Huckleberry. You could put on that face all you want. I'm on to you now, buddy. Hey, he knows. Fort Worth. Fort Worth sounds like a big city. So if you're cold, kind of sounds like a cool city. Any city that has we have rock in our names. So we have Rockport. So I think that's Fort Worth. I feel like cities and towns where have names that make sense are kind of cool. Well, one day maybe we'll bring Huckleberry down and we'll give him a little tour of Rockport. Maybe not in the winter. I assume you have a pretty good temperature swing because it gets wicked hot in the summertime. It kind of does here too, but probably not like Texas. But nonetheless, we still made power today. I do digress. Whatever condition you're in, I mean, the good thing about Texas is that you would make tons of power. I don't know if you have solar or not, or if you have any desire to have solar or not, but Texas is actually one of the most impressive performing states, and Texas is the state that adds the most solar year to year, even more than California for the past 2 or 3 years. So I can appreciate how much more efficient really the solar is down there, and I'm a little jealous. Not gonna lie. Days like today, I'm a little jealous. Although 120, oh yeah, that's cooking. That's cooking. It doesn't really get to 120 Fahrenheit. The feels like, Ken, just because the humidity sets in here and it gets really just kind of swampy. But that's cooking. I feel like you could cook an egg on the sidewalk at 120 degrees. Probably not just an egg. You could probably cook an entire meal. I would not function well in 120 degree heat. And I guess that's part of it, is like when you're living off grid, you need to know what kind of power you're going to need. You're going to need some significant air conditioning. I imagine that air conditioning is your friend in that weather. We're on the coast. I'm on the coast up here. And so having the benefit of having natural airflow at our house and designing it that way, that was one of the features we just designed. Yeah, exactly. I do not doubt that at all. That's crazy. Don't eat the egg that you cook on the side, or clean the sidewalk pretty well first, though. I don't know. I feel like there might be some additional food safety requirements when we talk about. It brings a new meaning to the words, like a street vendor, because you're literally cooking it on the street. But we still made power. We still got Huckleberry's face on there. We still made power today. Where was the power? Where was the power that we made? It's here. Oh, here it is. So we made. Oh, so here we are right now. We're not using anything. We're not making anything. We're really not doing anything because we're powered by the car. I don't know if you said this before, if you've been on before. Most nights in December, most nights in January, it is so cold here, and we are such limited in the sunshine that we need to really run 24 hours a day just strictly off the power walls. There's days we could do it, but we try not to chance it. And so even here, your heating bill was too. Yeah, see, this is why our heating bills are starting to climb up there too. In Massachusetts, we have expensive electricity. In Texas, I'd like to think you have cheaper electricity than us. I think everything's just better down in Texas. I could totally be romanticizing this. Suffice to say, I love where I live. I live in the best place on the face of the earth. But from a weather standpoint, and sometimes just from a practicality standpoint, I do think that living off the grid in a climate that just gets sunshine all the time would be beneficial. So I don't know. I recommend it. It is really helpful. You make way more power than you realize. So like even today, what did we make? We made I wasn't even paying. Now I'm not even paying attention, because I just realized you can actually look at the comments on this thing, and it is interesting. This is helpful. I like having a little engagement with it. But now I can't read. Oh yeah. So here's what we used yes, this is good. So today we haven't used any power according to the Tesla system, just simply because we're on the car power. So our gateway really doesn't know any better. It just knows it's not pushing power through from the power walls. It doesn't really know where the power is coming from. It could be coming from a gas generator for all it's concerned. Oh, thank you, brother. Super great granddad. Oh man. Hey, round of applause for being a super great granddad. That means more to me than you know. I lost my dad at an early age in life, and I got a couple kids, and I know that he's being a super great granddad from above. But man, I appreciate that relationship so much. So keep being super great. I know you get so much from it, because I'm starting to see that perspective now. As I range out from a dad to maybe being a granddad one day, being so fortunate. But keep being a great granddad, because it makes such a big difference in the world. So kudos to you. Thank you. I deserve a thank you comment. I'm a slow typer too. So that's the other reason I get distracted on these. Keep doing what you do, brother. So here, we're going to keep making power out here, even in the wintertime. So yesterday we made 8.9 kilowatts. Not a lot of power. Not an unusually low amount. I mean, that's pretty much like an off day, I would say. It's not zero. a couple times. Oh, that's what we used. Oh, so okay. I'm all backwards now. See, I'm getting confused. Oh, you're 100. No way. You're 100 years old, dude. Dude, you type like you're younger than me. So I don't know. This is and your grandson helps you. It's awesome. It's what life is all about at the end of the day. That's why I know when I look around this world, I know what a great place it is, because I get to meet people like you. And sometimes I have a little art studio actually up where I live. And so I meet a lot of people from all over the world, lots of people from Texas and coast to coast. And the stories are just amazing. The people are amazing. And it's just like this. I don't typically get interactions on here because I haven't been paying attention. You made my day. It's 2:43 in the morning here, and you've already made my day. So no matter what else rolls out, you and your grandson have set me up for a really solid one. So that's good. So that makes me feel better about being so cold. You guys warmed me up, truly. So and not just you warmed me up. We have been conserving our power really well. So 8.9 kilowatts basically means if we would take our day worth of power and slice it up, that's like a third of the day. So how that relates to us, because we got kids and we've got school and we got work and all that. So it basically means when we switch over to our Tesla Powerwalls, we switch over at 8 in the morning, and we keep it on till maybe 4, 5, 6 in the afternoon, and we switch back to the car. And that way if we would typically use 24 kilowatts of power in a day, it means that we're slicing that down to where we really need the most power. We're kind of narrowing that down our day, and we're concentrating our Powerwall power for that. So if we're using 24 kilowatts of power in a day, and we're using 8 in the real, like that slice of time. You were born in the Great Depression. This is crazy. You're inspiring. And it just goes to show you we can get through anything. You've gotten through a lot, and you've given a lot. You've given a lot back to this world. And so thanks. That's the best generation. I mean, I don't know if you don't like hearing that, or if that doesn't quite explain, somebody like me, a younger person like me. I'm feeling kind of old, but now I feel supercharged because I feel like if 100's young, then I'm really young. So I always looked up to my grandparents' generation as the greatest generation because of what you all went through and how you went through it, and then how you not just came through it, but then set up your family and allowed your family and people you don't even know to thrive off of the platform of all coming together to make a common, better place to live. And it's now more than ever for me. I mean, that's just super inspiring. And again, it's why I think this world is a really, really positive place, because we're going to have great depressions, but we're going to have better people. And that's how it's always going to be. It's why we're still here. It's why we still do what we do. And it's why even just me getting to live off grid and just getting to kind of live this life, I don't take it for granted. Really appreciate it. I had a feeling, World War II vet. I feel like a lot of your brothers and sisters of that generation, committed so much to the country, whether they were enrolled or not. So thank you for being a World War II vet. Both of my grandparents were, and I loved hearing the stories. I still share those stories with our kids. It's really now more important than ever to share what we've been through and how we've come out and been positive because of it. And so your service allows me to share my story, allows me to paint. I'm actually the artist in residence at a cancer center here in Boston. So during the day, I go in and make a colorful mess with patients and just get to be an advocate of finding some healing and some joy and some connection, when you're going through something challenging. And I get to do that because you made sacrifices, whether you wanted to or not, and whether you knew it at the time or not, because you made sacrifices. And on behalf of that, I am eternally grateful. It doesn't need to be a holiday for me to express that. It's just the way I feel. So thanks. That's why. And now because of that, and we've had smart people developing incredible things. I mean, solar panels. Could you imagine 100 years ago, a solar panel? Could you imagine 100 years ago living off grid would have been living in a tent and not really having power? I mean, maybe having the same source of fire. I think that our source of heat and the source of heat from 100 years ago was probably pretty similar. So it's nice to have some things in common. It's nice to have a thread that we can relate back to and that we could share. And it's also neat to see how, now in 2025, rolling into 2026, we can look on our phone and see how much power we're making, and see on Wednesday we were using 22.2. On Thursday we were using 15.8. The Monday before that we were using 20.4. So we're using, this time of year, we're using somewhere between 15 and 25 kilowatts in a day. Now, again, if we break that down like we did yesterday, that was yesterday, 8.9 kilowatts we used. That's getting by on very little power. So we have a 40 kilowatt system on our house. And so if we're just using 8 or 10, let's just say 10 in a day, that's 4 days of power for us. But that's not 24-hour power. And that's the difference. The last of your Air Force buddies. Man, you are the last, but you are in a chain of a long line of just incredible people. And so I have no doubt about it that your stories continue to get told, and the difference you made fighting in World War II and surviving through the Great Depression and raising a family. I mean, clearly, if you have a grandkid who's helping you out, I mean, that's my goal in life. So you've just hit all of these benchmarks and high water marks, and you are really you're really an inspiration and somebody to look up to. So thanks for being you. Thanks for being you, brother. And all this because you're a super great granddad. Who knew? You're also a super great human. I mean, I guess that kind of gives it away. So yeah, I'm afraid of flying. I'm a little afraid of flying. So I don't know if you flew or if you were a support crew or what you did in the Air Force, but you did a great job. You did a great job. So thank you for that. And you probably helped develop, or what you worked on maybe helped develop some of this technology as well. And so again, now I call this democratizing power, because we finally have the ability to control our own power flow. And so it's the one thing, it's like, so we're not grid tied. And so the benefit of that is we don't get an electric bill. We had an upfront cost with it, but now it's nice because we don't have to deal with that 10 to 20% seasonal rise in electricity. And like I said, up in Massachusetts, it's expensive up here. And so we have the opportunity to have the freedom of our own power. And in an extension of what you were fighting for with freedom of speech and being a strong community, an empowered community, I think that living off grid is less about being disconnected now from society, and it's less about being isolated, and it's more about how do we integrate and give back. A picture of the Eiffel Tower. That's super cool. I bet that's a rare photo. Picture of the Eiffel Tower after World War II. Your stories. We should just have story time with you. I feel like you have much better stories than me. So please always, this is where I wish I streamed a little bit more consistent, because I wish Super Great Granddad would jump on my stream all the time, and we could just have a back and forth about all these little kind of inspiring nuggets of stories that you've got just accumulated over the years of just being you down in Texas. I don't know if you were always in Texas or if you relocated to Texas, but you got some great stories. So I love the Eiffel Tower. I've been there a couple times. I love Paris as an artist. It's super inspiring as a place, but as a World War II buff and lover of history, that's great. You were a gunner. You were a gunner on a 26. I don't know what a 26. I apologize. I should. I feel like I should know what a 26 is. Was it probably not a bomber? It was probably. I'm gonna look it up really quick. What is a 26 World War II airplane? Now I'm interested. I am interested. Oh, a Douglas A-26 Invader. Is that it? Whoa, that is cool. Hold on. I want to screenshot this. Will you tell me if this is it? I'm gonna throw this up on the live stream real quick. This says a Douglas A-26 Invader, a twin-engine attack bomber used by the U.S. Army Air Forces late in the war, also known as the B-26 Marauder, and a later version was called the B-26K Counter Invader. It was designed to be a versatile aircraft capable of both level bombing and ground strafing. this was a time I think where we designed aircraft. Well, I mean, you have got to be amazed at how far we have come with. I want to throw this up on the. I do want to see. Can I add an image? I think I can. Let's see here. It's on my desktop. Here it is. Is this? Let's see here. Is this? Would this be? Let's see. Can I? Yeah. Something. So was it something like this? That's amazing. If you were a gunner on a plane like this in World War II, man, you got, what do they say? You got the cojones of steel, as they say, my friend. You really, you walked the walk. You flew the flag. Whatever the word is, you did an amazing job, and you did it so that I could have my freedom to talk about just nonsense and off-grid living and paint and really, yes, that's it. That's great. So where's the gunner? Is the gunner in the front? Are you just like sitting in the nose of that thing, and just behind a machine gun? And that's really, I mean, when you see the F-35s, and not to digress into aviation right now, but even some of these unmanned, like, I'm just curious to hear what you think about all this technology integration, avionics, and just radar and stealth. I was watching on the Blackbird, I can't think of the numbers on that one. The Beast, what's the you know what I'm talking about? The Blackbird the B-12 or something like that. The SR-71, that's what it was. The SR-71, and like I look at that plane, and I look at what that was. And this was 1950s and 60s technology at that point, I think, when they were developing it. And so now to see how far it's come, but I digress. That's pretty cool. Thanks for being you. Made a big difference, and it's made this a much more interesting live stream for me personally, because I was going to sit here and I was just going to talk about how much power we made, and the fact that we only needed to use 8 kilowatts of power yesterday, and that it snowed out, and that this is our fireplace. This is what I'm going to talk about. But now I got to learn about all kinds of this all started because Huckleberry. This is like, that's why he's such a great dog. It's because even when he's not meeting you in person, he's still making positive introductions. So do you have a dog? Do you guys have a dog? Do you have any kind of Texas relative of Huckleberry? Inquiring minds want to know. Huckleberry, do inquiring minds want to know? Yeah, he says inquiring minds want to know. So there we were. That was our power check today. We didn't use that much power. I don't even think I completed the whole analysis. We didn't use that much power. We haven't used any power today because we're on the car power, but we should have some sunshine rolling through. So I hope you get some sunshine. It's cold in Texas, but I bet it heats up. When it heats up there during the day, it probably heats up more than it does here. It's going to get to 32 tomorrow. I think we should hit slightly above freezing tomorrow, but in Texas, it should get a little warmer for you. No dogs. Yeah, well, there's a lot of dogs around to enjoy. I haven't always had a dog. I've always loved them. And so I've always appreciated just, scratching other people's, because then you don't have to take care of them. They really are a bit of a handful. They're a lot. They are, take your time. You could be back. I'm just blabbering on. I just love chatting with you. Thanks for this. Thanks for being you. Thanks for being a super great granddad. Also a super great person. So just keep it up, brother. So I'm going to get back to talking about the power, just to flow through it all. Pun intended. Let's add to the stage. So again, 0. We're making 0 right now. We're using 0 right now. That's not entirely true because we are on the car power. So we're probably using about 0.7 kilowatts right now, 0.7 throughout the night. But this takes the load off the power walls for us, which is really good. And that wraps up how much power we made today. And it kind of rolls into the fact that, why do I share all these details? I share all these details because there's just not a lot of information out there about how much power you need to live off grid, how much power it takes seasonally, the efficiency losses from winter to summer. You know, when I say we lose 20% efficiency, that means if we have 40 kilowatts of storage in the summer, we lose 8 of that in the wintertime just because it's cold out. So we functionally really only have 32. Or if we have access to 38, we only have 30. You know, so these are things that you got to keep in mind when you're installing solar panels, when you're installing batteries, and when you're trying to incrementally take the steps to live off grid. It's important to know what that actually means. And so I see articles like this a lot of times. I have my little off-grid Flipboard, and so I'll see articles like this, which is really cool. It says, what was the article title here? Scoop up this solar-powered off-grid Catskills cabin for $700,000. And albeit $700,000 is a lot of money for a cabin in the Catskills, but it's a good parallel for us because it's up in a similar region, and these are the prices that we deal with. And so right now it's interesting because living off the grid, I think 10 years ago used to be kind of detrimental to the home value, and now it has become a component of asset. And something like this, we're like, oh, it's only $700,000, which is pretty crazy because that's near $1 million for a cabin. But I'm like, okay, so what are the details on this? How does this stack up to our house? Because it's in a similar location. Wife works at Contic. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard of Contic, and I'm not great at abbreviations. Oh, is that an art thing? Transforming art ideas, a Contic we create. Is that an art thing, Contic? I don't know. It kind of seems like it could be art related. I have not heard of it, but if it is art related, it's right up my alley. I'm doing a cool project. Like I said, I'm the artist in residence at the Mass General Brigham Cancer Center, and I'm doing a cool project with them where we try to put as much artwork as we can up in the hospital because it makes a difference. But I try to introduce people to the power, the healing power of art, whether they want to paint and create something on their own or just take the time to kind of hang out with me and jam for a little bit. But we have the ability to scan some of the paintings in the hospital, and they start to tell stories. So they tell inspiring stories, and it's kind of neat because they connect people through artwork. It's going to be called Active Art, and we're actually going to be launching it in January. So it's a really, really great project that maybe I'll talk more about on. Maybe you've inspired me to talk more about it on this stream. And so when I see innovation like this house, you know, like Active Art, but like this house. So what does it mean? Like, what are the details on this house? And that's where it's tricky, is because this house will show a lot of pictures. There was a lot of really interesting and well designed and composed pictures. I mean, it looks like a magazine, but the details of it. So year built 2025. So this thing is brand new. It's in New York. So it's up there dealing with the same kind of weather swings and parameters that we are. Lot size, 2.64 acres. That's a pretty good sized lot. But again, that's the lot size. Well, what do you need to build the house on? So our house, we have it's about 3,000 square feet when you include the cold above the garage that I'm sitting in now. We've got about 3,000 square feet. And our house is on 1 acre. So we have a decent amount of space. Our farm is on 21 point, a Continental Army Intelligence Center. That's not an art thing at all. That's an intelligence thing. See, that's why I didn't know what it was. The word literally has the word intelligence in the name. So that's not something I'm probably not going to comprehend that as well as your wife. I'm glad she works at Contic, the Continental Army Intelligence Center, and not me. I have a local non-intelligence painting studio, Pontic. That's probably not a title that works at all, but thank your wife. Thank you and your wife. What a team. The two of you. You guys are like, I feel like there should be a movie about you, or maybe there has been a movie about you, and I've watched it. I've watched a lot of World War II movies. So maybe, through the course of World War II, you guys, you might still be active at 100. You might still be active. If they needed you to jump in a plane right now, I kind of feel like you might have it in you, which is pretty impressive because I don't. So you're way, way, way stronger, braver, and more resilient than I am. But it's nice to have benchmarks to look up to because I feel like I like to. That's why I told my mom if I got a B in school, it's not the worst in the world because I leave myself a room for improvement. So when I see somebody, a couple like you, a power couple, literally, flying planes and working in intelligence, I'm like, hey, there's a high bar. I've got room to grow in this world. So thank you for that. And I don't know if growing is going to be me buying this house though at $700,000. And I'm not saying it's a good deal or it's a bad deal. I just don't know. So anyway, lot size, that's not really relevant. The lot size is only relevant to what size house you want to put on and what kind of exposure you're going to have. I am so sorry to hear that. Your wife passed away last December. My condolences. That's tough. Full stop. I'm sorry, and I'm sending you lots of love. I said I've dealt with some loss in my life. I lost my father at a really young age, and some other folks in my life, and it's just hard. It's just hard. The one thing that you're doing really well, I haven't even met you, is you're carrying her legacy on in such a positive way. Where, and I say this about my dad a lot, and it's like, he's gone but not far. It's the thing. I can't physically hang out with him, but I talk to him all the time. We're still on the same page. I still take him to do the things that I love to do. And I think that I'm sure that you do the same thing, and she's super proud of you, and so am I. So keep doing it. Like I said, you're inspiring in so many ways, and you haven't had easy moments, and you're still taking strong steps to get through them. And that's your wife knew where all the nuclear sites were. Thank goodness she's the one. I feel like your wife was the one to keep the secrets safe, and she did. Look at that, she did. So that's really incredible. I was thinking you had all the great stories, but now it's the two of you had all the great stories. And I love that. This is all because of Huckleberry. All because Huckleberry was just being a cute dog on stream. And thanks to your wife. Thanks to your wife up there. My dad can thank her. Got some folks that can thank her for us too. And thanks to you, and just keep doing what you do. And thanks to your grandson again for helping out. I don't know if he's watching or not, or if it's past his bedtime, but if he helps you set up with this whole thing and keeps you engaged with the world, I think you are way ahead of the game, my friend. Super great granddad, super great and inspiring granddad. Thank you for sharing all of this about you and your life too, because it's really satisfying for me to hear that and know that whatever challenges I face, I've had some medical things come up. There's some, it's life. Life kind of comes up. But if you got through it with such grace and strength, I'm gonna at least stumble my way through it, and not end up on my face, flat on my face. And if I do, I'll brush myself and get up. I'll brush myself off and get up. That's I learned that from you guys. So thanks for that. But back to this house. Maybe one day we'll find an off-grid house, and we can all have a little powwow. But I don't know if it's going to be this one. So again, when you're trying to design your house, it's not about how much space you have. It's what you need to build, the size house you need to build, and how much sun exposure you're going to have for your solar. So let's see. This has, this house is designed to a modern standard, but only with what is necessary. But see, this was all like fluff. It's like you read this stuff and you're like, okay, our house is so great because it's got a fancy name, Edifice Upstate, and it's near a pond, that's actually really cool. I think that's there are certain maybe contextual qualities of the environment of which you're building off grid that are pretty important to keep in mind. And so this is the house in general, but again, it looked good. It looks like it's out of a magazine. So I'm like, where are the details? If this is truly off grid, how much battery power does it have? How much solar power can it produce? Like, I want to see the details. If it's built and it's up and running, there's analytics to show us what it actually, how it performs. And when I don't see any of that, it is concerning that maybe this house isn't performing the exact same way that we thought it was. So there's the panels. So it does, there is something that says how many panels it has. I think it has 18 panels. Let me see. Let me go through here real quick. There was like a listing. There was a listing. Where was it? Here. And it had, yeah, here it is. I think it's coming up here. It had Oh, so there's the solar panels. Where there was something that had information on. It was a 15 kilowatt. Oh, I should have been more prepared for this. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I found it. Okay. Powered by 26 monocrystalline solar panels. I think that just means solar panels. I don't know why they have to throw in the fancy monocrystalline word in there. I think that's just a solar panel. Unless it's perovskite, then that's cutting edge, but that's not what I think they're saying. So 26 panels with a 15 kilowatt Solarc inverter and a battery bank. Let me just see. I can't read. Let me make this a little bigger because I can't read this so well. So, powered by 26 monocrystalline solar panels on a 15 kilowatt, it just says K, but I'm assuming it's a kilowatt, Solarc inverter. The person who wrote this definitely did not know what they were writing about. With a lithium-ion LiFePO battery bank, the home generates 38 kilowatts of electricity and stores enough energy for 5 to 7 days off grid. Okay, let's unpack this. These are the types of details that really that frustrate me. Okay, so all right, 26 monocrystalline solar panels. You could have just said photovoltaics. That's fine. Solar panels, 26 solar panels. What's the wattage of them? Now, we installed ours 5 years ago. I think ours are 275 watts a piece. We have 36 of them, so that you could do the math and you could find out exactly what it puts out. But you could find and do the math, but then you can actually find out exactly what it puts out. So if ours says it's performing at 15 kilowatts, a total capacity, which means at any given time in the direct sunshine, it can pull in 15 kilowatts. We have 2 inverters. So they have a single inverter, a 15 kilowatt inverter. We split ours up. We've got one that can do 10 and one that can do 5. We've got a bigger inverter and a smaller inverter. So if one goes down, we can still make power, knock on wood. So they have a 15 kilowatt inverter, but does that mean, first it says 15K. I think that means a kilowatt inverter. I'm going to assume, give them the benefit of the doubt. But does that mean that, what does that mean? So it's feeding a battery. They don't even say how much storage is in the battery bank. So you're telling me you have 26 solar panels producing 15 kilowatts. So that has to be like 500 watt panels. And you should brag about that. If you have 500 watt panels, then that should be something that you're talking about, because that's a really great feature of the house. But you don't say how much batteries. All you say is it generates 38 kilowatts. So is that in a day? I kind of feel like, is that total? Is that what if your battery bank is 38 kilowatts, that's a day's worth of power, my friend. That's a day and a half's worth of power. So I don't know what that means. 38 kilowatts of electricity daily. That's what it generates. Is that what it stores? Is that what it generates? Our 36 solar panel solar shed generates close to 70 kilowatts a day in the summer. And that's enough for us for a couple of days, but it's not 5 to 7 days worth of power. People just have no concept of that. And then it says currently supplemented by propane to ensure no strain on the battery. What does that even mean? What does any of this even mean? I get that there's a propane generator on site. Does that mean that you have to switch over when you're low on solar panel, battery power, and switch over to the generator and your house is powered by the generator? Does that mean that the generator is recharging your battery bank? What does that mean? And generators are loud. Generators off gas. It's not ideal. We have one too. Don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't necessarily include that in a statistic about what my solar panels can generate. So that it just can't be part of the equation here. So there's something missing. 26 panels, we don't know how much energy they produce. A 15 kilowatt inverter, we don't know how much energy it would produce per day, except it says 38 kilowatts, but that's not enough for 5 to 7 days off grid. That means you're going to have the sun shining. That's like ultimate ideal conditions in a computer. That never actually happens in real life. So that's it. This house is really cool. I really like it. I want to really keep liking it. but there's not a lot of details about for 700 grand and promoting that it's, kind of this off-grid getaway. I think people just need to know what they're getting into in a little bit more comprehensive way, with a little bit more insight. So that was my made me look. Oh, check out your wife's obituary. I will. I bet it's super impressive. Was it? I'm sure her career arc and her life arc were just incredible. So I will. I don't know if you could send me a link or if you want to send me her name, I will definitely check that out and read stories about her and just keep her in my heart. I absolutely will do that. And you as well. You guys are awesome. Huckleberry really appreciate you too. Here he says. So this is living off grid. I mean, living off grid is this. It's running the fireplace. It's scaling down power usage in the winter. It's knowing seasonally what you're running into, and it's having a better understanding about the context in which you're gonna apply this knowledge. And so, when's it appropriate for solar panels? How does the backup generator work? How much battery storage do you need? So all of these things are questions, and they're all going to be different answers for everybody depending on what they're trying to do, what you're trying to do, and where you're trying to put it to live. So that's it. That was my food for thought. I didn't even put the banner up. I got lazy. That was my food for thought. Oh, and I realized they have these. I'm not going to use this much, but I realized that they do have like these sound effects. I don't know. I thought that was kind of a neat thing. I'm discovering all of these neat things, but that was my food for thought. But the made me look today, getting back to that, I heard some really great stories about World War II through some of our participants on the chat today. But the made me look, I'm a big fan of Nathan Apollo. Not a lot of people know about Nathan Apollo. He is a musician. He is a really interesting, talented, fun guy. I actually got to see his first concert not too long ago, and it's really engaging. And so I guess there's a trend on the interwebs here where maybe a musician will start with a chorus or something like that, and then somebody else will fill in the next paragraph. And so that's what this was. This was Nathan Apollo, adding into a paragraph here. I thought he just did a great job. So this is the made me look for today. Oh, did it not? Oh, I gotta unmute it. It'll help if I unmute it. Ready? Here we go. Take two. Nathan Apollo. No, is it still not? Did I not record it with the right? Oh, I didn't do this right. Sometimes this happens and I don't record the thing right, and then I don't realize it until it's too late. I got it. I had to turn the volume. All right, we're going to do this again. Sorry, Nathan. I feel like I'm wrecking your spot here. All right, let's jam this again.
The days when you feel like hell, heaven can be found right inside yourself. God gave you joy for pain, so butterfly, enjoy your rain.
You are so ridiculous, don't make me get into this. Your beauty's undebatable, it's hardly inconspicuous. It's not enough to put love in your curriculum. I need you to love you in particular. And I'll admit to you, there was a time I felt the same. This ain't a problem you can put off for another day. I wish that I could say that there is a better way. The only way to grow is from moment to moment every day. But that's okay, maybe butterflies ain't your thing. You could go from tadpole to frog to king or queen. Just follow your passion, rise like a phoenix straight from the ashes. Oh,
how do I convince you to love yourself? Just remember.
Oh, I could listen to that. Can we listen to that again? I like that. That's a jam right there.
The days when you feel like hell, heaven can be found right inside yourself. God gave you
Run it back. Hey, hello, Nathan.
Butterfly, enjoy your rain.
you are so ridiculous, don't make me get into this. Your beauty's undebatable, it's hardly inconspicuous. It's not enough to put love in your curriculum. I need you to love you in particular. And I'll admit to you, there was a time I felt the same. This ain't a problem you can put off for another day. I wish that I could say that there is a better way. The only way to grow is from moment to moment every day. but that's okay. Maybe butterflies ain't your thing. You could go from tadpole to frog to king or queen. Just follow your passion, rise like a phoenix straight from the ashes. Oh,
How do I convince you to love yourself?
It's pretty awesome. He's a great songwriter. He's a great orator. He's a great storyteller. So that's Nathan Apollo. Big fan. He's got some other fantastic songs. Maybe I should feature some of his songs too on the stream because they make me happy and they make me roll into my day in such a positive mood. So that's it. That's your grandson BJ. That's great. BJ, thank you. Thanks for being a great grandson. You do have a super great granddad. So I suspect, I don't know who chose that name, but whoever chose that name, they did a really good job. So on behalf of me, who lost my dad, who's my kids don't have a granddad, I feel like knowing there's super great granddads out there like you, knowing that there's super great grandkids out there like BJ, and knowing that there's amazing families out there like yours, you and your wife, Helen, really inspiring to me. So, hey, living off grid, it doesn't mean we're living disconnected from the world. And in fact, it means that we're inspired more than ever to stay connected, to keep telling the stories, to keep you're on this. You are on. Oh, BJ, are you on the stream now too? If you are, hey, what's up to you? Thanks for being awesome. I kind of feel like I heard about your grandfather and your grandmother's story a little bit tonight, and I'm really, really grateful for that. And thanks. I even got to learn got to share some airplane knowledge, some aviation knowledge, and see what kind of plane your dad was a gunner on, and to hear what kind of intelligence your mom did. And she kept the nuclear code safe, and he kept the skies safe. And here we are getting to talk about living off the grid because of that, because of you guys, and being online and sharing together from Texas, and from Huckleberry all the way up here to Massachusetts. Just want to say thanks for you. Thanks to you guys. And I'll be back. I'm going to try back to, hey, it is BJ. Thanks, BJ. This is what you're doing is really important and makes a big difference, and not just in your family's life. Man, you made me happy tonight. So this is awesome. This is a great connection. I try to be on a little bit earlier at night, but whenever you guys get a chance to jump on my stream, I would be honored. So thanks. You set your grandfather up with a really great name and YouTube kind of adventure here, connection. And so I hope one day I have a grandson that can teach me the stuff that I definitely already don't know. So it's great, but I'm trying. We're all out here trying. We're all out here doing our thing. Doesn't matter if we're young, old at heart. We're all young at heart, and we're all doing the best we can. So yeah, your grandpa. You got a really good grandpa. He's a special guy. And again, never met him. We've only had a little interaction here, thanks to Huckleberry, who kind of brought us together. But and I got another shot of Huckleberry here too, so we could see him. But he's a great guy, and I love that he wants to share these stories. Make sure that he keeps sharing these stories. It's critical. It's critical to the health of our society, and I think the continuity of humanity. That thanks. It's 2:20 a.m. It's 3:20 a.m. here. Go to bed. Don't you have school tomorrow? It's like, I feel like I should have school tomorrow. So my kids are sleeping. But I say go to bed, but on the other hand, you're doing something awesome. So you know what, in this world, BJ, you just keep doing you, brother. Keep doing you. Keep taking care of your grandpa. Keep him connected to the world. His stories are amazing. And I'll be back. I'll be back probably tomorrow night. More like 11 or 12. I try to be, unless I'm like really busy with work or I get really inundated with painting or something else. But thanks. Get some rest, guys. And I will catch you. Hope you have enough power for your day, inside and out. We try to keep it light here on the Off-Grid Farm because that's what gives us energy. And you have kept it really light for me today. So my prayers and thoughts to Helen and your loss on that. I'm sorry. We've all been through loss. And it's how we go through it and how we get stronger because of it and how we carry on that legacy that makes us better people and a better community. So thanks. You've helped my day out today, and I'll catch you guys soon. Take it easy in Texas. Stay warm down there. I didn't realize it was so cold. So we'll connect soon. Later.